Hi, welcome back to the Dylan Rounds case. Welcome if you're currently here to the live video premiere. Today we're catching up on the recent comments by a few different individuals who supposedly have knowledge and understanding of the case. Looking back at it today, check for information we've never heard or seen before. Look for additional updates regarding previous comments, because as for the comment section of my previous videos, more than one, the likes of Cori did respond back. Now, when it comes to YouTube directly, I don't get notified on responses that often, okay? I might get a notification on a new comment, but I never really get notifications when it comes to people responding back to other people in the comments. Does that make sense? So that's why things might get forgotten with time, and really not much one can do about it. That's why I always suggest that if people are going to respond back or add on to what they've previously talked about, to include it in the newest video so we follow it step by step like a journey when it comes to understanding a case, learning about things, correcting, reinforcing, to do it along the way. I understand on the previous thread, and it's all in one place and you can follow the progression that way, but because we're always on the move forwards, it doesn't quite suit that aspect, if that makes sense to you. Even on a forum, an actual forum page, to try and look for it all, it'd just be a lot going on, right, to visualize. Anyway, on this one exception, we will be looking back, okay? Because from what we heard in recent time, Cori is backing off because she's been advised to by somebody out there. Who is it? I don't know. But we just look at the comments, see where we're at, see what's been talked about, okay? We also go on the Find Dylan Rounds Facebook page. There's an interesting post there by Nate Eaton in response to the Dylan Rounds case and in general. I think it's called CrimeCon. You heard that correct. It's called CrimeCon. Kind of like Comic Con. I wonder who will be making an appearance at CrimeCon. I'm sure some people have a few ideas, but no, we'll be looking at the official post today to make sense of that, because it feels like there's like a wave of things going on within the case, but maybe not directly within trying to find Dylan Rounds, if that makes sense. More background stuff. May not always notice it because it's not always on surface level, if that makes sense. Try and bring it all together today, like a discussion video. Clumps and clumps, bulk it together. There's still like the odd map analysis video that needs to be created, maybe next time or the time after that. There's also that documentary, part 1, part 2, whichever, to maybe look at, for me to react or give my thoughts about it. If you haven't already checked or seen, I don't know how long it'll be up for, so everybody watching, make sure to get a copy of it yourself, save it, download it, screen record it, use third party, providing it's safe, MP4 downloader converter, YouTube video. Make sure to do any, if not all of that, for this one video. Not this video, but the one I'm going to talk about in a second, okay? Just everybody watching right now, make sure to be alert, make sure to be ready, make sure to be prepared, because at any point, any moment, things could disappear, okay? So be alert and be prepared. Try and document things if you can, and it can help along the way in general, right? So, the video, what I'm talking about, the documentary to do with Dylan Rounds, part 1. Can't remember the person's YouTube channel, but they have appeared on these live premieres for some time now. Is it Watcher of Drama? Watcher of Crime and Drama? Something like that username, with a profile picture of drama mask. You know, when you get those colourful drama mask, a happy, sad face. Not to be mixed up with Smile Now, Cry Later. that's a completely different individual. Okay, smile now, cry later, brush them aside. We're talking about watcher of drama or watcher of crime. We're not talking about watcher of crazy. That's another person. I just wanted to let you know. Watcher of crime or watcher of drama on their own channel have uploaded part 1 of the Dylan Rounds documentary, which is very good of them considering. So shout out to them. If I get a chance, I will watch it. It's not that long. It's about 14, 15 minutes long from what I glanced at. Make notes, summarize it, and then share my thoughts afterwards, like what we've done with those interviews in the past, because this documentary is like a semi-interview storytelling visual concept, right? I'll give you my thoughts, what I know of or what I've heard of previous, and where do I stand now. That can be a video in its own right. Could be shorter, of course, but it's a dedicated, focused one. Map analysis to do with Weezer, comment on Robert Aviles. I need to take a look at that as well. Okay, separate video. At this moment in time, there is a lot going on, or there's a lot of video ideas. It's like, wow, got to do one by one by one. If humans out there want to complain, if humans are not too pleased, tough. I've got this under control. I'm literally looking right ahead now at the sky, at the clouds, monitoring the movements, locked in, focused, under control. Okay? Now, if you haven't already, make sure to check my previous video out. If you need to escape from drama, you need something light-hearted, you need a distraction, check my previous video out, link down below in the pinned comment section, as well as additional links if you wish to check them out as well. I said, a lot going on, you need a break, check the previous video out. Shout out to Cleo in recent time for her super chat, and shout out to any other individuals in between for their super chats, very good of them, and people further afar, appreciate that. As for the custom emojis, yes, need to work on that, but been very busy with all the other stuff going on. I need to create a Mortal Kombat emoji, and I also need to create a gnome one. Do I have the available slots to create a new one? No, so we'll have to replace pre-existing emojis. I'll probably just select the ones which have not been used that much at all, okay? So sacrifices have to be made, right? Maybe down the line, hopefully, being positive, but being realistic, but being hopeful. Maybe down the line, if more people join as members and get past the 120 mark, then maybe I think a new slot or two will be opened. As said, with time, when members do drop off, it kind of resets progress up to a certain point. So hopefully people understand that. But yeah, that's to be worked on in the background. Is there anything else to acknowledge? Just in general today, there's a lot of videos coming out. I've already uploaded about 3 or 4 earlier on. I've already been kind of screwed over by YouTube because of one of the videos. That being, I received a music copyright claim for using music which never existed in my video to begin with. How do you explain that? It makes no sense, but this is my reality. I have encountered this problem before in the past. On top of limited videos, on top of everything else, I am really screwed at this moment in time. But I can do a dedicated separate video about all that crap going on later tonight at about 0000 onwards, following into the next morning. But take in mind time zone difference, be aware of that. There's a massive amount of videos coming out today. Okay, I've already uploaded quite a few already. This video coming out, explanation video coming out much later, and a Kenny Veach video coming out as well. Busy, right? Hopefully as many people see this stuff. I know multiple videos all crammed together to get forgotten about, but you know, if I'm ready to go, if I'm ready to make, then I just got to do it. I can't just hold myself back like a caged animal. I just can't. I've got to create a video, I'm going to make it, I'm going to upload it. Simple as. People see it, great. If people don't, hopefully in the future, right? So yeah, just to recap, today we're looking back at comments of several different videos, looking at Cori's specifically, see what's going on up there. Then looking at the Facebook page on Dylan Brown's, and then maybe talking in general about the case, maybe to do with Brenner and the court hearing thing, right? How do I title this video? So much to talk about, might have to summarize. I know it sounds vague, but there's nothing I can do when YouTube has a character limit, okay? So I'm sure people would have already joined in by now. Welcome. You haven't really missed anything, but if you wanted to understand the brief of this video, what's, gonna follow, what's being talked about, make sure to rewind back. But right now, let's look back at the comments, see what we've not seen before within the Dylan Brown's case, and just try and understand in general, okay? Right, here we are with the comments. Adjust it to the newest. Not that it's going to make too much of a difference. All we're really looking out for is the responses from Cori, as I said. So most of this we have read out already, just in case you're wondering. Here we go. So this was 1 day ago. The original comment was 4 days ago, but this one says 1 day ago, okay? Indiana responding to the original saying, a lot seems to have gone wrong with this case, Cori. Cori responds, add-on, the first site, area, place they all went to was at the tool shed, that being the family, I assume, on Monday for about a day or two, then told to move outside of the property by LE, because Brenner wanted the whole lot of people gone because it was aggravating him. He didn't like the presence of family members and friends being around, and LE. Second area they then moved onto was down the road a little outside the property. Third, down to Rounds Farm, Dylan's property, which is when there was a flyover. And I assume the flyover was the 5th of June, as we saw with that, footage on Facebook when they were going through the wash and you saw those track marks. You remember that? At least Candice Cooley posted or reposted that video on the 5th of June. Maybe it happened before that, but that's just when it was posted, at least online, okay? So, just provides a bit of backstory to how things played out and where the family went, in which direction. Let's read it one more time. First area was the tool shed on Monday for about a day or two. Monday at the time being the 30th of May 2022, when the parents went on down to check if Dylan was okay because they were worried and concerned, okay? Shortly after, they were advised by LE to move away from the property because Brenner was getting aggravated by all the people present. So then they moved on down to outside of the property, down a road, maybe to set base, and then finally went down to Dylan's property, the farm. That's how things played out. Okay. Move on. We got this one here. Seen the comment, of course. What a response is there. It's all coming out now. We read this one. Yeah, we saw that. Wait, what's that though? And the ex-girlfriend chases son, feel they know where that is. Yeah. Bottom line, none of us should blow it off. It means hundreds. Okay, we've seen that. Yeah. When you said you think you know where Dylan is, for God's sake, don't say it here. Right, okay. Yeah, we saw that. Cori responded back saying, Indiana, don't worry, Justin is aware, and the LE and media and etc. have screwed this up so much is mind-bending to say the least. So that's it. I have nothing more to say. Much thanks to everyone who has hung in here with me for more than ego and money and ignorant verbal vomit. Thank you for letting me use the platform, Warlight Ref. Sorry that my info brought trouble and nasty attacks. That was not my intention at all. Note, not sure if I got Chase's court date right, August. I thought maybe later. Sorry, at any rate, I hope they don't let him out. Right, so this is kind of like a conclusion, right? There are some additional comments as well, which of course we look at. This is just like the first video, so don't go anywhere. But I guess Cori came on in a short burst with a wide array of supposed information. Couple have taken it into mind and understood and listened to Cori, but then maybe a few others are skeptical, which is understandable because the case has been so messy. Trust issues, that can happen. You can get trust issues. Like, of course, most definitely in real life, for sure. But of course, in a case too. It's just one of those things, right? I mean, balance is good where you can just listen, take it in and listen. Even if that's it, at least you're listening and they get the chance to talk. I mean, for most part of it, Cori hasn't caused me trouble. You could say it's kind of turned the case upside down, but as long as it's controlled and you don't go too far off the deep end or down a rabbit hole, it should be okay, right? As for the case itself, has much changed in a negative way? Not really. Has there been much positive direction forwards? Probably not really either, but, call it neutral. That's something. Anything else to mention here? So Justin is aware and the LE. So all the information Cori has told us, whether you yourself as a viewer believe it or not, she informed Justin, Rounds, and the LE about it. And they're probably the right people to be informed about it. Then they can make their judgment calls and go from there and follow through with it if they do believe it needs to be investigated. So whilst we can talk in general on here and say, should this be talked about? Yes, no. Is much good coming from it? Well, Cori has already informed the right people in the right place, the right time. Whatever happens, happens thereon, right? But there's no harm in between online to talk about it, right? As said, if what we're talking about online causes issues or confusion, or people get confused by the information because it's a lot to take in, it's not the end of the world because the right people in the case directly already supposedly know about this and they're just doing whatever they need, to get things done. So there is still some form of stability somewhere, right? Anyway, that's it for that comment. Anywhere else? No. Anything here? Nope. There's some updates, can't spot. Yeah. Right. Let's transition on to the next video comment section and see what else Cori has had to say. Here is the next video. Here is the next comment section. Go to the newest, start from the bottom, and just see where the replies are. Not that one. Is it that one? No, not really. There we go. Bye, Felicia. That's the one. Tom. Okay, we got that one. Right, so we've got two lots here. Everybody in the chat, feel free to listen or watch along or do whatever you need to do, okay? So we've got the channel here called By Felicia responding back to Cori saying, Cori, can you tell me when Scott lived in Montello or was there? You are so full of and really are trying to convince people with all your lies. Okay, let's see how Cori responds back. Felicia, he went down to Montello that weekend. Taylina said so. I know he does not live there. Right, so that's talking about Scott Wadsworth. Right. Felicia says, so if he doesn't live there, and was only there a weekend, how can you say he was involved in any of your story? Cori responds back, because Tracy and Bridger said that is what happened, and that Kurt Wadsworth and Scott told him, Chase, to get out of town or they would kill him that weekend. Straight up fact. Felicia responds, remind me of how you know Tracy or Bridger. If I recall, you don't know Chase, Robert, Ty, Bibbins, or even James Brenner. You sure seem to think you know a lot of facts, but have nothing to prove it. Where are your receipts, text messages with Dylan, or phone logs to prove anything you are saying? You are full of Get the F off of YouTube, Salty. Okay. So, here and there, a few people with time, not just Felicia, but others, have suggested or directly pointed out that Cori is Salty Pancakes in disguise. Now, just in general, well, what can you say about it? What a mess it would be if that really was the case. But, as said, as long as you listen but you don't internalise, so you don't get confused or brainwashed, then not much damage can be done to you. Okay? As said, backup plan. But, let's just carry on reading. What does Cori say in response? Who are you to talk to me like that with your fake name? You really do not know who I am. You need to... Actually, it's in capital letters. Hold on. You need to go back and read the past 6 or 7 videos and comments and stop attacking me as if you have anything to do with any of this personally not. There we go. Felicia says, you don't. You. If anyone really thinks you are really Cori, got divorced from John Sheldon over 30 years ago, what could you possibly know? Love how you can't really answer questions. You just keep saying, look back at my comments, get real. Cori saying, John and I have a very close relationship and work together on business and family. Now, tell me who you are. Do you have a massive personal investment in and the Dylan Rounds case and property? I doubt that you do. I have nothing to say to this ignorant, nasty attitudes from people who have not lost a good person and thousands of dollars in time, sleepless nights. If you wonder why I'm doing it in that tone, it's just because the wording's got the caps lock on. Okay? Felicia says, get real. You are full of still no receipts. I see you know nothing really. Stop trying to lie to everyone on YouTube. And last but not least, Cori saying, answer me. Who are you? Are you capable of answering that? Simple question. You are free to come to your own conclusions and do your own research. I'm not your private investigation department, nor I'm employed by you, last I checked. But of course, with a fake name, I've no way of knowing. Do you want me to make a guess? And there's not been a response ever since. Now, when it comes to receipts, how can you highlight or show them? I mean, if it's all private, then obviously you can't on YouTube, right? It could cause problems. You'd have to do it in the background. But if Cori was in that situation where she had receipts and then she could reach out to people privately just to prove it to them, then maybe that could happen. But maybe Cori's in a position where she feels she doesn't have to prove herself because she's already passed it on to the right people. I don't know. The thing is, at the end of the day, whilst Cori can be called out, okay, fair enough. What about Joy Perry? Joy Perry in the past, Perry in peril, jump for joy. Oh yeah, we've got all this information, all this on Kurt Wadsworth. Well, where is it? Oh, well, I deleted it. Well, that's useful, isn't it? Who did you pass it on to originally? Well, I passed it on to Doug from... no thanks. Where's he at now? Oh... come on, Joy. Come on, Joy. Come on, Joy, 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 Joy. Joy Perry. Come on, perils. Grab the pearls. Grasp the shell. Oh, it's shut tight. That makes a change, doesn't it, when the gob's shut? Anyway, You get the idea, okay? Just a disaster. It's not the first time where people have said a lot of things and not been able to back it up in some way or another. But, okay, seems to be kind of split down the middle. Some people respect Cori, other people are very cautious and wary. It is the way it is. Let's click that off for a second. Tom didn't get a response there. Here we go. I don't really accept your comments from yesterday. The grain shed and the Bridger, Tracy and Chase story was hard for me to grasp. At one point I heard stories of Chase being afraid of Bridger. You said Tracy came from Montello. I think you meant Montana. Cori, can you go over the Chase story one more time for me? Cori, can you make the days of when each thing took place clear and as correct as you can remember? It would help us understand the situation better. Let's see what Cori says about that. First of all, Cori says, MONT is an abbreviation, a form for Montana. Warlike Ref said Montello. He is not used to the US abbreviation. No, I'm not. I'm not used to the US abbreviation. As well, some abbreviations or words can be similar to other things. So, it's just one of those things, right? So, when Cori originally said M-O-N-T, she was talking about Montana, not Montello. Okay. The timeline and CCTV was screwed up by media and Candice Cooley and platforms and the date and time. As far as the grain shed RV site, it indeed was there for about 2 days before they were asked to move by LE. As far as Bridger, he was the son and afraid of his dad. Chase was only 16 at the time and had been beaten many times by Chase. Oh, you mean Bridger was 16 at the time and Chase treated him badly. Tracy said so. I'm backing off. I was told to. So I am. With a sad emoji. So who has told Cori to back off? Justin Rounds, Candice Cooley, someone else online. You know, what do you think down below? Cori saying Bridger was scared to death of Chase. Chase beat him all the time. Tom, I hate to see you back off. You have given us plenty to go over for a couple of weeks. Take care. I'm sure you will be missed. Don't stay away too long. Cori says, haha, I doubt I will be missed. My info has challenged a few people's small minds. Strange how some so easily followed a nicely folded dirty laundry list so quickly. There seems to be a disagreement of who I am. I am my own person no matter whose platform I was on. I don't get into pettiness or personal fighting due to personal conflict. John and I are very close. We have children and a farm, a business to deal with. We always have been close, even if we don't live with each other. He moved to Washington many years ago with his girlfriend. We are family. We treat each other with great respect. He asked me to figure out what happened. He is a businessman. I stayed and farmed here in Montana. Yish. John comes over several times a month and always no less than twice a month to help. So sad that all those nasty doubters don't spend their time and figure out what took place and do some real research rather than doubt who I am or that we knew Dylan and owned both pieces of property at one time or another down there. As not the ones who have lost anything or Dylan or thousands and thousands, just ignorant insanity from nobody chatters. I'd be more than willing to explain it to you. Send me a friend request. Too bad that updated replying is not checked. Well, it is checked right now. As said, it's hard to look back on because how many other people are going to be notified of responses of previous comments? You're not. The thing is, when it comes to YouTube, the only times when you'll properly be notified is when someone has left a new comment on your video, or someone has given a super chat, or someone is responding to your comment on your video. As for everything else, if there's like an endless thread of communication and you haven't participated in it, you're never going to be informed about it or notified. So it just gets swept under the rug and forgotten about. That's why it's best keeping comments updated on the latest videos going. Kind of like what Weezer does, you know, because it's not as full on with Weezer. Every now and then Weezer will come on the latest post, thread, whatever it might be, and then leaves the comment there, so it's easier to track. Okay. Tom's saying, I will. I'm making soup. Okay, from the garden. Good morning. Just send you. Right, okay. Right, that's it for the comments here. I think we have got like 1 or 2 other videos to look through for the comment section, and then we'll see where we are from there. Right, so now this video and comment section is all new. Okay, we're looking back at everything here, acknowledge, respond to questions, key points made, because we haven't looked at this beforehand, okay? Just it to the newest. This is like what we normally do. I wanted to do the original coverage before of Cori's comments to at least try to catch up on those messages by her or by them, okay? Was there any more beforehand? Maybe, but as said, it's kind of difficult to track it all, okay? So, first of all, we've got Cleo. Oh my, the whole time commenting, I thought I was caught up. I've done that more than once myself, yeah. I know some people have joined. I think last time it was Matt Lingo popping on in. He was like, hi guys, and he was like, oh, it's already ended. You know, it's just one of those things, okay? Try and keep with the time, with the live premieres. Understandably, not everyone can make them because of things going on. But as for the video itself, it's always there to watch. You can always catch up on it another time, okay? We got Sunny there. I have grievances with you. Just joking about, yeah. Shout out to Sunny. Got their own channel. This person saying, I wish this would finally be resolved, the case. That's true. It's gone on for quite some time now, but you think about all the issues, problems, delays, and everything else in between. I guess in a sense, it's not surprising us for it going on this long. In other cases in the past and right now being dragged out somewhere in the world. In places where you get like a good result or a good case, how it's been dealt with, you'll get a bad case somewhere. It's a bad case here. Moving on. Christy saying, so is Cori saying that somebody knew already Monday after Dylan went missing that he was dead? Well, that's what it's implied as, you know, that's what it's implied as. And that somebody is supposedly Ed Harshbarger, who wasn't in the area at the time, who was going on a road trip to Colorado and was letting Cori, well, mainly letting John Sheldon know with an actual call made and then passing the message on to Cori about sending condolences. Normally when you send condolences, that's when, you know, something bad has happened, mainly someone has passed away. That tends to be the theme, right? What else have I got? Glenn, shout out to Glenn. Lone Wolf, only ones that are bad are the ones making money off his death. Blood money. Okay. Comment here by Thrift Queen. What does Thrift Queen say? Rafi, I knew you're number one in reporting and investigating Dylan's case on YouTube and taught me how to measure search ground footage on Google Earth over Lucin and the farmland, an area of Dylan's place of disappearance. For that, I'm forever thankful and will use your analysis in other cases and have for Ethan, whoever that is. Well, that's good to hear. Shout out to Thrift Queen, person with many different usernames, but consistent in being overall a good individual. So yeah, shout out to her. And, you know, whilst we do this case and coverage, if some of the methods, styles or thoughts help people in some way or another, themselves directly, or how they look and cover other cases out there, then that's a positive in itself, and it's demonstrated here. So yeah, end of the day, Google Earth, I've always looked at it in the past more so messing about, but then when tying it in with a case or mystery, it does actually come in handful. Very handy, very useful, as you got the tools at one's disposal. Sure, I mean, the odd thing you could highlight is it's a shame that there isn't more updated imagery, but maybe down the line, whatever's added, they could add more experimental features in the future. You never know, right? Just Jen, where is the Dylan Rounds documentary? Paramount Plus. Well, thanks. So do they use your channel to bash YouTubers? Give that narrative of conspiracies? I don't see how No Thanks was different then. Any channel for Candice? So shout out to Just Jen, first of all. She's a good individual from what I've seen, so yeah. So Jen, Paramount Plus, which means you've got to pay for it. But if you're quick enough, Jen, and everybody else watching right now, if you didn't hear earlier on in this video, everyone watching right now, and including you, Jen, the channel called Watcher of Drama or Watcher of Crime and Drama, with the profile picture of a happy and sad face drama mask. On their channel, there's a video showing part 1 of the documentary. Okay, I'm not quite sure if it's the exact full length of part 1 or just part 1 of the part 1 documentary, but it's available to watch right here, right now. Feel free to check it out, Just Jen. I'll try and provide a link down below in the comment section so everybody else can find it. Hell, I can even post it in the live chat right now. You give me a few seconds, I can type it on in and then hit the post button, and then all of you can check it out when you have time, okay? So it's good of the person to upload it originally. Clears that for a second. We got Slick saying, if I agreed to pick a farmer up when he called me after he was through on the tractor to take him back to his vehicle, and if he didn't call me, I would be worried as well and go looking for him. Fair enough. With Kurt Wadsworth, how did Kurt Wadsworth respond then? Trying to think. Does anyone know already? So supposedly Kurt Wadsworth himself said on the Find Dylan Rounds Facebook page in recent time, when recalling how things went, that on the day Dylan was supposed to be calling Kurt Wadsworth after parking the grain truck in the grain shed to get a lift back to some truck vehicle elsewhere which ran out of gas, and Dylan was supposed to get a hold of it and bring it back to the farm, right? Dylan never made that call to Kurt. Kurt Wadsworth wondered what the hell's going on. But did Kurt Wadsworth go down to the farm area to see what was up, what was wrong? I don't think he did. I've not heard that, at least. If any of you know, feel free to fill in the blanks. Because like when it comes to Candice Cooley, when it comes to the grandmother Karen, when they didn't get a response back, they were like, whoa, what's going on? And then reached out to other family members, asking them, do they know anything about it? And then because they were all in agreement that they've not heard from Dylan, some of them, like the parents themselves, went on down to check, which is understandable. And kind of like the comment here by Slick, understandable. But what about Kurt Wadsworth? Did he go down to check? Okay, might have been concerned, might have been a bit worried, wondered what was going on, but did he take direct action immediately? I'm not quite sure. Anyway, Indiana, published, okay, so I think she's quoting a past thing here. Published at 8:30 a.m. October the 2nd, 2022, author Marcos Ortiz, ABC4 Utah. He did pass away. Quote, Deputy Chief Palmer statement. James Brenner is our primary suspect at this time. Lots of other names have been shared with us, said Palmer. I can't say that James is our only suspect. Others may come up in the course of the investigation. I remember that. The early days, open on the table, possibilities, individuals. Seem to have narrowed off as time's gone on, right? with evidence coming out over time, it seemed more pointing towards Brenner and only Brenner. And there genuinely are other people out there that are responsible in some way or another, direct, indirect, witness, or involved. Not found that evidence yet to pin the blame on them, right? At least from what I know of. What about in the background? Anyone back there that might know? Let me know your thoughts down below there. Comment section or chat as to what you think. I mean, early on, you're obviously going to get more suspects, right? Because the case has just been opened. The investigation has started. It's underway, trying to make sense of it all. It's where the most activity normally is. And then down the line, things slow down a bit unless there's like new leads. That's kind of like how it's gone here with time. Move on. We've got, I keep forgetting his name. Is it Bandit TV? Saying Twitter is now officially called X, thanks to Elon Musk. I mean, it kind of looks better in a way, visually speaking. As for Twitter themselves, or more so the people on Twitter, like YouTube, they're useless. As I said, I can explain that later in a different video when reaching out to them. Cleo. Oh, wow. What's going on now? Let's read it out. Cleo says, they don't deserve Warlight Raff's assistance. They should be ashamed. Who's the say-so humans behind the scenes? Who's responsible for what gets put in that mess? Okay, so Cleo is talking about that documentary, a portion of it which painted Warlight Raff in a negative light and twisted the narrative and wording and edited it to make me look worse. Okay. Cleo also says, credit to Warlight Raff, the most resilient researcher, taking viewers' different perspectives, trying to figure out this puzzle with what we have. I mean, the one thing we all have in common is finding Dylan, not adding drama to the documentary. What's the point of that? Warlight Raff seeks all possibilities, ugly or not. This all comes basically down to balance. Warlight Raff, his contribution is beyond me. The sad truth is humans lack realness and balance, and the ugly truth, heartbreaking for the ones trying day in, day out to find Dylan Rounds. I understood most of that. See, that's what I mean. Sometimes when Cleo talks, when she truly talks, she does make sense. And she says what's on her mind. So that's good. Okay. What else was there? You look amazing in that video. Appreciate that, Cleo. And, oh yeah, that was just a random comment by me. So in the past, my music was featured in an Indian film. Nature videography was used in a theatre group in Japan. Reached out to me directly via email about it. And now Warlight Raff has starred in a documentary on the Dylan Rounds case. So, to put it one way or another, even though Jim Terry Mr. X supposedly signed that they didn't want to appear in the documentary, at the end of the day, an individual compared to everybody else in the case, an individual who's not even in the US managed to make it in the Dylan Rounds documentary. That speaks volume. Technically speaking, right? Because there'll be people out there that have covered the Dylan Rounds case, hell, have been boots on ground some way or another, and did they make it into the documentary? No. Private investigator, did they make it into the documentary? No. Did Warlight Raff, an individual, not even from the US, an individual that, uses the silly little maps, it seemed to work, right? Obviously, the narrative, not for the best of reasons, but end of the day, an individual made it compared to others. But what are the responses? First of all, let's be real. Is there any consequences, backlash, any repercussions for appearing in that documentary when it comes to Warlight Raff? Not at this moment in time. There could be people down the line that reach out and say, hey, you're the guy with the red blanket that was talking about crazy conspiracies, right? Well, don't worry, I've got the full documented videos on my channel which sets the record straight. and refers to who originally said it, which was Bob Farrell on his channel. Okay. And where do you think that originally stemmed from? Exactly. But, you know, all the videos there from the past, it's all archived. Any humans down the line confused, they can be guided over that way and they'll find it eventually. Indiana. And your new book is coming out when? Oh yeah, Warlike Ref, the book. Autobiography or biography, put them into one. 2 in 1. There you go, buy one, get one free. Talking about wooden furniture as well, there's a little extract there. Looking forward to reading it, no problems. But any lies, I'll be suing you. Come on, Indiana, you're going to sue me? Not enough, I want you to go the whole way, okay? Famous. Winner. Yeah, not said that for a while. Hold on a minute. Let me just dust off the pancakes. Hold on. I'm a winner. No? Is that not good enough? I'm a winner. That not good enough? I'm a winner. Oh, okay. I'm a winner. Yes. Winner. There we go. Indiana. Not sure on the slapping, but I'm greasing the table leg as we speak. It's the thing, Indiana. You keep greasing the leg. Why do you keep greasing the right leg? I'm left-handed. It's not going to work, Indiana. Anyway, I'll just clear say, do you know if Warlike Ref is making a video today? Sorry, but I can't see clear today. F, my writing is worse. Rafi can handle a few slaps. I shall tap slap, slappy slap, gag Rafi boy in person for you real soon. Sure. Okay. I'm getting slapped, supposedly. Right, that's it for the comments there. Let's move on with the video. I think it's now time to talk about what's happened on Facebook recently, and this is to do with the Dylan Rounds case. A post by Nate Eaton, which was reposted, reshared by Jazz Grolson on the Find Dylan Rounds Facebook page. No harm in taking a look at it. Check the comment section out as well. See what it's all about, right? Does it provide a bit of insight into the Dylan Rounds case? Is it progress forwards? Is it more to do with Dylan Rounds' legacy? Is it a way of giving an update interview? Or is it something completely different which could make people suspicious in some way or another? Well, there's only one way to find out, to check on it. In addition, there is another post as well to do with the documentary, but I think if I'm going to look at the documentary in a separate video, give my thoughts and analysis, I best tie it in with that instead of right now, just for the flow. Hopefully you understand that. So let's head on over to Facebook now and see what that initial post was. So here is Facebook page of Nate Eaton, reporter. This was posted 9th of August at 17:12, kind of recent. Let's see what he's got to say. Nate says, honoured to be invited back to the CrimeCon this year, where I'll be moderating a panel with Gabby Petito's parents and step-parents, David Robinson and Candice Cooley. These parents have gone through the unthinkable tragedy of having a missing child, yet their experiences with the police, media and the public have been quite different. We'll talk about it all and take your questions. This is my 3rd year at CrimeCon. I've met some really amazing people and learned so much. This year will be bigger and better than ever, and it's in Orlando. If you're interested in attending, use the code Nate Eaton for a 10% off a standard badge. Okay, some images down below. Let's take a look. Get off. Right, here we go. What can we say about this? So, CrimeCon is kind of like Comic Con. Now, in the past, I used to think the word con meant you would go there and you'd get scammed. You'd get conned out of your money, out of your trust within somebody. Kind of like if you got a private investigator and they screwed you over and took your money without solving a case. That type of con. But I don't think it applies here. But with it being CrimeCon, it could be gathering to talk about the mishandling of cases and the negative side to them, as Nate Eaton talked about. So that would make more sense. I can't click on the images because it just flings me off, but on screen, hopefully you can see. Left-hand side, Nate Eaton, news director of East Idaho News. Then on the right, the Petito Schmidt families, parents and step-parents of Gabby Petito. Okay. Down below, on the left, we got David Robinson, the father of Daniel Robinson, missing since June 2021. Okay. I think quite a few people watching right now would have heard of Daniel Robinson. And then on the right, we got Candice Cooley, mother of Dylan Rounds, missing since May 2022. Right, so these family members who have been impacted, a lost loved one, not been found to this day. Okay. Are they all true crime related? Not exactly. I don't think is the Daniel Robinson case considered true crime, foul play, as like the Dylan Rounds case or Gabby Petito? Anyone now? Feel free to add it in if you wish, like the fill in the blank spots. I think some people out there are probably going to assume, oh, Candice Cooley smiling in this photo. What has she to be smiling about? Dylan Rounds has not been found and she's too busy appearing on these shows and panels and whatever. I mean, if you're going to criticise Candice Cooley for that, then you might as well be criticising all the other people that are attending, right? I guess it's a way of getting the story out there once again, pushing it into the media perspective, spreading awareness, both of the missing person and how the cases have been handled, doing anything and everything to gain traction, to spread that story and awareness. Just like how it's done on YouTube, right? Different ways, different platforms, different methods. In real life and online, it can work. And for this event, CrimeCon, it's in real life. It's like a meetup from the looks of it. I wonder how it's going to be done. Are there going to be like tables, chairs? Is it going to be like a hall, a room where you sit down, almost like a press conference, and then like the family sit down on the stage and talk about things? Nate Eaton being, let's say, in the middle, and just letting everyone talk, and then the crowd getting the chance to ask questions and see what they respond with. Could it be a way of receiving updates on the case? Possibly, or maybe hearing some information we've not heard of before from Candice Cooley, maybe. Who's going to be attending it? As for the crowd, I don't know, it could be anyone, everyone, right? It said it's in Orlando. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. What do you think about this CrimeCon? You think it's a good idea? You think it'll help spread awareness? You think it's good for the Dylan Rounds case? Have you noticed, though, such as like at the top, the Petito Schmidt families, parents and step-parents, and then down below you've just got Candice Cooley. Justin Rounds not attending. I wonder why. I wonder why Justin isn't attending. Anyone know? What are comments? Just click on these very briefly. See there. When is it in Orlando? September 22nd to the 24th. Oh, so over multiple days. I was excited to see the announcement. Enjoyed it last year. Great work. Okay. So at times like this, I do love to live in America. Nate, it's now time to start at Dateline. You are the new Keith Morrison. They were joking and called it Nateline instead of Courtroom Insider. I just wanted to see if anyone was going to mention any comments here to do with Dylan. Still watching, heartbreaking. Congratulations. Every time I see Candice's picture, I want to give her a hug. Okay. Will this be available on YouTube after the live part? Good question. No response, though. Wow. Autumn Ray and Ray Landry, it's a com for criminals, but quite neat, although sad for these families. It's a con. Sheila, I'd say it's more like a com for people who expose criminals for what they've done and who they really are. Yes, I realize it was just a joke. Right, okay. Will your event and/or others be live streamed? Hope so. No response there. Okay. Have a great time, Nate. Where and when? Sadly, that's the week of that. Okay. What's this one? Too late on the code. No more rooms at the JW. Wants to go when you can't stay at the venue. Lucky you. I'm hoping they roll it out in other places than London here in UK. I'd love to go to CrimeCon. We were the first one last year, I think. Oh. Orlando. Pricey. What's this? Heather, sorry to be that person, but I taught advanced grammar at BYU without the Oxford comma. I thought David Robinson and Candice Cooley were Gary's step-parents instead of a serial comma. It became a positive. What the hell? Right, okay. CrimeCon, is that a thing over there? I'm only just discovering. Looks like it. If Nancy Grace is there, please tell her I said hi. Right, so that's some other person. Okay, so not really much comments here in response to Dylan Round's exact, but, I just want to share this post with you in general. Wanted to know your thoughts about it, okay? So what are your thoughts in general about CrimeCon? Have any of you attended it? What was it like? The layout? Did it, have a positive effect overall? Let me know your thoughts down below. Interesting that the Dylan Rounds case has been highlighted, but, with Nate Eaton being present there, like the main guy, acknowledging Candice Cooley, understand, because they've done those back-and-back interviews in the past, them living in Idaho, so that makes sense there. Spread more awareness on the Dylan Rounds case, I guess, that's a positive. Interesting that Justin Rounds doesn't seem to be attending. I wonder why. Maybe busy or just doesn't see the point in it. Will he have a response someday? Maybe. You never know, he might even post on Facebook and say, oh, what's the point of all this? And then end up apologising afterwards. You never know, I'm just basing it off patterns of behaviour, that is all, okay? Will much bad come from it? No, not really. It's just them showing their stories, their experiences, kind of like what we've heard before, but maybe from a different angle, perspective, additional information, and in a different area and platform in real life. So, yeah. And if people can ask their own questions, then they might get their answers as well. So I don't know if anyone watching is attending it, but if you do, I know, feel free to share your thoughts on how it went. Okay. Anything else to talk about now in general? Yeah, so what we're going to talk about now, first of all, if you have joined, welcome. Probably best for you to rewind back so you catch up on everything. But what we need to highlight now, and as I said, it was bulked all together today, just to get it in there now. So with the court appearance of Brenner, it seems to be a bit mixed and matched, right? The general consensus at this moment in time, and it seems to have been confirmed, that the upcoming court date for Brenner isn't to do directly with the Dylan Rounds case. It's like its own thing. I can't remember if someone said it was to do with the gun charges more so. And if not that, still to do with the attorneys. One or the other, but I did hear that it's not to do with the Dylan Rounds case, I think. Do you know what? We will double check on Glorin Dylan's community post in a second, don't we? But yeah, was I really expecting much to begin with this next court date appearance? Not really, because like from what Candice Cooley has said, she said, we've not even got into like the main part of the case. We've not even got into it yet. So there's still a long way to go there. So just by hearing that not so positive tone by Candice Cooley, who should know more than others. Not much happening at this moment in time. And if other people are confirming it as well online, then not looking too good, is it? And I can understand some people were looking forward to it and hoping to get some answers because the silence has gone on too long. some people just wanting some kind of resolve, right? I get that. But it looks like that's not going to happen anytime soon. But then I saw the odd other comment, and it was by BEA, their username with a green profile picture, saying that the hearing has been postponed, delayed. It's not happening now. It's been pushed back. Didn't give a date though. Is that true? I don't know. I don't think I saw it on Glorindellans. I've not seen it anywhere else. Don't know where that came from, but if you know or you have proof of it, just feel free to explain down below why Brenna's court date appearance has supposedly been delayed, pushed back. I said I've not heard of it myself, but if you know, explain down below. So let's just take a quick look at Glorindellans' channel to see if I can find that post about Brenna. Right, here we are. Found it. Seems to be 2 on here. We'll read each one. From 2 days ago, Glorindellan says, 3 months after the eviction, we are finally in court for the determination of financial damages on the eviction case. Next week is the James Brenner hearing. I'm looking forward to the trial. Tom, will we get the discovery documents this trip to the courtroom? Glorindellin, I think more will be available after we get the preliminary hearing, if we ever get there. It seems to be taking forever. Okay, so not looking too promising, right? I think that's kind of like what Candice Cooley was talking about. Okay, and what was the next one? Victory in court. I think that's something else. There we go. So far down it says, Glorindellin says, I would need to run off for an appointment on Friday and on the 14th for the Jim Brenner hearing. Assuming this isn't another 4-day trial like the last one. I don't know anything about this case beyond that it's a retrial, so it would be learning all about it, same as the jury. I'll be there, I'll be away. Shout out to Gizzy, sorry, I keep saying that name wrong. Right, so it looks like it's still underway, it's still going to happen, but not exactly anything too promising from the looks of it, at least. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you just to reconfirm it, because when it comes to Glorindellin, she does have a good idea when it comes to the information about the court stuff and law. She has attended, some of them as well, right? So that's all good there. If you weren't already aware, feel free to check out Glorindellan's channel, True Crime Utah. Select the tab filter to channel only, and you'll find it show up pretty quick, okay? Anything else to highlight? Don't think so at this moment in time. I said it was a bit of a bulk video, getting it all together. I've still got a few more videos to make. Yeah, this shouldn't take us long though, right? I said, I need to get them out. They will be out, okay, at this moment in time, because it needs to be done right now, right here. So yeah, I'll say goodbye. It's on to making the next video and go from there. I said in general, if you've got any comments, leave them down below. Any questions, feel free to ask. You want to check out the previous videos, view the additional links there down below in the pinned comments section. As for now though, thanks for watching. See you later. Goodbye.